not getting shared.
Recording in progress.
Right. So we're done with problem number 7. We have discussed it, right? Anything to be done in 7? Have you done the problems? Right. I think 5 and 6 were like straight problems, right? 5 was dead easy. 6, you said that 6, anything typical in this? No, straight question, right? So shall we focus more on next chapter? Right. Don't be absent on Saturdays. All the new topics usually they start on Saturday only. That's how I time my what do we call this chapters. Okay. If you take Saturday for granted, feel like corporate employees, 5 days work, 2 days rest. Okay. Then the topic will rest. Why, you will understand today. Because if you miss this first class, the rest of the rectification of errors will be all Greek and Latin only. I'll make sure that it sounds like Greek and Latin only. Right, rectification of errors. Before getting into what we call this, I've included a lot of theory and all that. You have to understand 2 tables, focus on those 2 tables, write the tables along with me. Okay, once I'm saying like table is over, you have to write that in your what do we call this thing, right? Now, what is the first table that we are looking at is what are the stages in which this rectification of errors exercise is carried out? How many stages is it done? Did you get the question? Rectification exercise or rectification of errors is done in 3 different stages. What is the first stage? What is the second stage? And what is the third stage? First one is before trial balance. Second one is after trial balance. Third one is after final accounts. Right, perfect. That's what we are what I call writing here. Right. So basically, you are dividing rectification exercise into 3 stages. Okay, this is what you will be writing. Let's write it neat and legible so that everyone will have a clarity. So, stage 1, don't write it along with me. I'll give you time, separate time for writing it. Focus on what exactly are these stages. Okay. So, first stage is before what? Before trial balance. Correct. So, are you trying to say that at the stage of journal or ledger? Correct. What is the first stage that you said just now? Before trial balance. So, what do you do before trial balances? Obviously, we'll do recording in journal, classification in ledger. After that, you prepare trial balance. Correct. Stage 2 is after trial balance. Okay, that is a statement called as trial balance is prepared. Okay, a summary called as trial balance is prepared at second stage. What is the third stage? After final accounts. Okay, so here you are trying to say that you have prepared a trading and profit and loss account, and you have also prepared a balance sheet. Right? This is what we are trying to, what do we call this, understand. Now, if an error is identified at first stage, the procedure will be different. The error, if it is identified at second stage, that is same error, if it is identified at first stage, the procedure of rectification will be different. If the same error is identified at second stage, the procedure will be different. And if the same error carries forward, that is, you never found this error in the first two stages and the error continued to your final accounts, you prepared your final accounts, next year you found that particular error, then the procedure will be different. So same error will be rectified in three different styles depending upon the timeline at which this error has been identified. Am I being clear up to this? Okay. Now, what is the next thing that you have to understand is at this stage, is it a one-sided error? Okay. Is it a one-sided error? Now, what is one-sided error? What do you think? General thing. When I say one-sided error, what do you think? One side. What do you mean by side? Obviously, in simple layman terms, in every transaction we'll have debit and credit aspects, right? One debit will be there, one credit will be there. That is what is received and what is have been given by the business, right? In this, imagine like if debit account or debit part is correct, credit part went wrong. That is, in a transaction or a journal entry that you wrote, debit account is perfect, nothing is wrong with the debit account, but something went wrong with the account that you are supposed to credit there, or vice versa. Debit goes wrong, credit account is perfect. Okay. Now, in this scenario, at first stage, no journal entry can be passed. It makes sense? What does it imply? Let's take some examples and understand. Purchased laptop for cash 60,000. Purchased laptop for cash 60,000. What is the entry that you have to write? Laptop account debit to cash. Imagine like this accountant by mistake, instead of writing it as laptop account debit to cash, he gave the effect as purchases account debit to cash. All of you are okay with it? So instead of writing which journal entry, laptop to cash, he wrote it as purchases to cash. Okay. Now, obviously after that, what is that this guy will do? He will write that in cash book credit side as buy purchases. Okay. And purchase account will be updated. Correct. Now, in this time, can I pass a journal entry completely? Can I write a journal entry? Why? In order to write a journal entry, you should have a scope for debiting one account and crediting the other account. Okay, see, in cash book, this guy wrote it as buy purchases. After that, he gave the effect in purchases. Now, question is very simple. Can I write a journal entry now? Is it a one-sided error or is it a two-sided error? Two accounts are wrong. I can write a journal entry. Why? Laptop account is never debited. Did you debit laptop account? Now laptop account should be debited. Purchase account is unnecessarily debited, which is not supposed to be touched at all. Correct? So now in this scenario, it is a two-sided where two accounts are wrong. I can write a journal entry. But imagine like purchase day book has been overcasted by 10,000. What is the mistake that is committed? Purchase day book, you are already done with subsidiary books. In purchase day book, by mistake, you guys have added 10,000 excess. Now, because of this error, excess 10,000, overcasting, what is the account that will be affected? Only purchase account gets affected. Your supplier accounts are not getting affected because of it, right? So that is a classic example of your one-sided error, where only one account is wrong And imagine, like, if purchase account is overcasted by 10,000, can you write a journal entry? Purchase account is overcasted. Purchase account shows debit balance, 10,000 excess amount is there. I have to credit purchase account. What is the corresponding debit that you will get? Can I write anything in debit? No. So what is one-sided error is, in a one-sided error where only one account is wrong, the other account is perfect, nothing goes wrong. Not like, unlike our previous one where two accounts are wrong. Laptop account is not opened at all, unnecessarily you debited that to purchase account. Where two accounts are wrong, I can write what we call as journal entry, but only one account is wrong, I can't write a journal entry. I have to adjust that without writing the journal entry. Am I being clear with the first one? Okay. So no journal entry can be passed in the one-sided error situation. Now, what is that we are writing here? What is the next category? Two-sided errors. Now, what are these two-sided errors? If I am writing them literally, debit is wrong, credit is wrong. Obviously, when both of them are wrong, I have to pass a journal entry and resolve it. So here, okay, am I being clear with the first one? This is your stage one. You will get a better of clarity while doing problems. The more problems you do, the more clarity you'll get. This is only for idea purpose. 40% clarity will be here. Once you do some problems, you'll get a better of clarity. Okay, next. Now imagine, like, what is it we are discussing here is, if I identify an error at the first stage, what is that I'll see is it a one-sided error or is it a two-sided error? If it is a two-sided error, I'll have a chance of writing a journal entry, and once you're writing a journal entry, you can post it very clearly in two accounts. But if it is a one-sided error, only one account which is wrong should be adjusted. Okay. Next, imagine, like, if the same one-sided error is identified in the second stage, that is, you never had a clue that there is a error in your accounts, and this one-sided error gets into your second stage, that is, journal entry is over, posting is over, balancing is over, and you got into what we call as your trial balance. You prepared a trial balance. Obviously, when it is a one-sided error, will your trial balance agree? Are you getting the concept? No. See, trial balance will agree only when you are maintaining debit and credit balance. When you are saying that one-sided error is committed, will your trial balance tally? Obviously, it will not tally. So, when it is a one-sided error, it will lead to a suspense account in your what do we call it as trial balance, and all the one-sided errors in your second stage will be rectified by using a suspense account. Am I being clear? So, can I write a journal entries? Yes, sir. You can write a journal entry. A journal entry is passed using which account? Suspense account. Okay. Did you get the clarity difference between one-sided errors in first stage and one-sided errors in your second stage? Simple. Same error, if it is not identified at journal and ledger and you have extracted a trial balance will throw a shock at you. What is that shock? Is nothing but suspense. And when you are rectifying it, you have to rectify it by using a suspense account. Now, two-sided errors, whatever we are looking at here, they will be the same. Okay, whatever journal entry you wrote it in first stage, same journal entry will be passed in second stage also. Why? Both accounts are wrong and there will be no difference in your two-sided errors if they are identified at second stage, that is after preparation of trial balance. And moreover, two-sided errors will not allow your trial balance to tally perfectly. Why mistake is there on both the sides, but you wrote the amount on, see, instead of writing laptop, if I write it as purchases, will your trial balance disagree? No. Instead of writing purchase, instead of writing laptop, you wrote it as purchase. You maintained a balance between debit and credit, right? Still your trial balance will agree. So the same thing, let's write it simple, same as stage 1, no change will be there. The only difference that you have to keep in mind is one-sided errors, first stage, no journal entry. The same one-sided error, if it is identified at second stage, we have to route it through suspense account. Okay. Third stage. Now what is third stage? All of you are okay with 1 and 2? Got the clarity? 40% clarity will be there, even if you have done some work before also. Let's refine that. We are going with an assumption that you know rectification of errors, but let's do that from what we call as auditing point of view. Because when you go to audit firm, they expect you to have a very good command over this particular topic. Why? Only when you know what is correct, you will understand what is wrong there. Knowing these two will not help you until unless you know how to rectify it. Okay, right. So what is third stage? What happened Saturday? No one is in a mood to answer. Topic requires interactions. It is not like one-way traffic. Very difficult. Right. What is third stage? Error is there. With that error, you have completed your journal. Your ledger is completed. Your trial balance is extracted. You prepared your final accounts. Okay. Trial balance got tallied. Alexander the Great. Okay. After 15-20 minutes, balance sheet will also get tallied. I am Alexander the Great. Once the auditors, like people like you, they step in, okay, question banks, they will start giving shocks to the client, saying that, sir, this invoice is there, but entry is not there, sir. Which invoice, sir? Accountant. That accountant will have what we call as bad days whenever they say that auditors, audit assistants are coming from audit office. Okay. One of your, imagine like he will go in there, so that's a 5 lakh rupees invoice is there, sir, but no entry is there in the accounts, sir. Which means that 5 lakhs is missed out on the debit side, 5 lakhs is missed from the credit side. Trial balance got tallied. Why it will not tally? It will tally. Why? Error of omission. And which class? Complete omission. Okay. Sir, you purchased only one machine for 5 lakhs, but you wrote it the same entry 2 times, sir. Trial balance will tally. Why? One machine for 5 lakhs is purchased and the entry is passed 2 times. You maintained a balance, right? Though it is a mistake. So 5 lakhs worth of machinery recorded as 10 lakhs, 2 machines. Trial balance will tally. Okay. We'll see the natures and all that. You will understand that in the second table. Right. What is that you have to observe in third stages? You have to focus only on which accounts. Once you understand stage 1 and stage 2, you automatically know third stage. But the only thing is, if an error is committed in any of the nominal accounts. What are nominal accounts? Your expense accounts, loss accounts, income accounts and gain accounts. Obviously, all these 4 will go into what? Will go into your profit and loss account, which includes an account called as trading account. Trading account is a part of P&L account. So if any error is committed in any 4 of them, they will have a direct impact on your P&L account, or in layman terms, profit. Correct. Now, once you're saying that profit is affected, simple, let's understand this. Okay. There are different versions, but you will understand it very easily. Expense account is overstated. Expense account is overstated. What will be the impact on profit? Obviously, when you write excess expense, your profit tends to decrease. Expense account has been understated. what will happen to your profit? Profit gets overstated, not increased, overstated. Same logic if I apply to what we call as income account gets overstated, profit also gets overstated. Income account is understated, profit also gets understated. Now, I don't have to discuss separately for losses and gains, because whatever impact is caused by your expense is the same impact that is caused by your loss, and whatever impact is caused by your income will be the same as your gain, right? So ultimately at fourth stage, you guys should be careful with these nominal accounts. Okay. Apart from that, rest of the story is very simple. And how do we resolve them? You will understand that while doing problems, but let's have a clarity for table purpose. We'll write it. If any of the error is committed in this style, this particular errors will be resolved by opening a temporary account called as profit and loss. Am I being clear? Because once you're through with stage 1 and stage 2, I don't have to tell you what to write in stage 3. Only thing that you have to observe is if you have any nominal account which is affected there, you should use a P&L adjustment. And where do we close this P&L adjustment is? Obviously, P&L adjustment account will be adjusted in your capital. Why? Because of that block. Look at the block. Expense overstated, expense understated. What is getting affected there? And profit goes, profit will be taken and added to what? So technically what is getting affected is your capital gets affected. So where do I end this P&L adjustment account finally is I will close it in my capital account. All of you are okay with it? Do you get the clarity? This is table number 1, which is running on timelines. That is, at what stage did I identify this error is important. That is, the same error, if it is identified at first stage, it will be different. Second stage, it will be different. Third stage, you should be very careful because already you have closed your accounts and you're trying to understand the impact of that particular thing on your capital. If it is nominal accounts, real and personal accounts will have the same impact as what we saw in stage 1 and stage 2. Am I being clear with it? Now this is your timeline chart. Anyone has got any sort of doubts in this? You can write it, or else I'll send a soft copy, or else you can write it later. Not one more. Okay, this is baby table. Next one is granny table. Okay, that is more important than this one. Is this okay? You can write it together. Focus on what do we call this understanding. We should not give a break now. The brain should not decrease in temperature. Temperature should go up. Okay. Now, second stage. What are the different classes? These are stages. What are the different classes of errors? Already, you guys have studied a class called as compensating errors. Compensating errors will come into picture in which stage out of these 3? Second stage. You will get a clarity that compensating errors are there after preparing trial balance. On one side, trial balance tallies, and subsequently you find out that one error is there on the debit side or one error is there on the credit side, and that one error will give you a what do we call the surprise. One more error is there somewhere, find me. That's what it is, right? See, you prepared a trial balance is tallied perfectly. Now someone from the audit office comes and says that, sir, your trial balance has got a problem. Credit side, you never recorded something, which means that it is there on the credit side. Debit side, it is there. Credit side, it is missing, which means that something else is there on the debit side, which was compensating this credit error all this time. Okay, they are very dangerous errors. Now let's understand again. 3 is a very bad number. Why I didn't give you break for that first thing is the reason. First one is, what is the first class? Error of principle. Next one is error of omission. Error of commission. Right. So error of commission here. So let's understand the first one, the class error of principle. Okay. So what is this error of principle is? What is error of principle? Treating real account as nominal, nominal to personal. How many combinations? 3 into 3, 6, 9. 9 combinations. Let's not go with that. So wrong application of debit and credit rules. That is, the person does not have a clarity that whether the account is a personal account or real account or nominal account. Okay. Or he is not very good at what we call as golden rules. Then the errors that will come into picture are called as error of principle. And what is the uniqueness of error of principles are they will never disagree your trial balance. That is, if you have committed an error of principle, your trial balance will automatically tally. You can keep that in the mind there. Okay. Now, for ease of understanding or for my students, I usually divide them into what we call as categories. Okay. Let's understand them. First one, capital expenditure is treated as revenue expense. Don't use the word revenue and expenditure. What is expenditure is something that gives long-term benefit to the business is called as expenditure. Something that gives limited time benefit to the business is called as expense or expenses. There is a difference. Seriously, salary expenditure అన్నామనుకో చూస్తారనమాట ఒకసారి. So capital expenditure. What is expenditure is something that is durable is called as expenditure. Something that doesn't give long-term benefit is called as expense. If it is only one, we have multiple of them expenses there. Okay. So capital expenditure treated as revenue expense or revenue expense is treated as capital expenditure. Okay. So what is this thing? Just now we took an example. What is the example? Laptop is purchased. Laptop is technically a capital expenditure, right? Why? Because the laptop will give us long-term service. Instead of writing it as laptop, this guy wrote it as purchases. That amounts to a error of principle because capital expenditure is treated as revenue expense. Okay. Furniture dealer purchases furniture for sale in business. Which account should be used when he purchases furniture for sale? Purchase account. Instead of writing it as purchase account, imagine like this guy writes it as furniture guy. That is an example for your revenue expense treated as capital expenditure. Similarly, same class will have something called as capital receipt treated as revenue receipt or revenue receipt is treated as capital receipt. Okay. Now what is this? You sold furniture. You sold old furniture. You receive 10,000 for that particular furniture, no profit, no loss. Book value is 10,000, sold for 10,000. What is the entry that you're supposed to write? Sold old furniture at a book value 10,000. What is the entry? Cash account debit to furniture account. That is the correct entry because debit what comes in, cash is coming in. Right, what goes out is furniture is going in. Instead of writing it as cash account debit to furniture, I wrote it as cash account debit to sales. What is amount received on sale of furniture is a capital receipt. Instead of writing it as capital receipt, I wrote it as revenue receipt, which is sales, or vice versa. Goods sold is wrongly recorded something. Are you getting the clarity here? This is another class. What is the next class here? Expense paid is debited to the personal account of the person. Expense paid is debited to the personal account of the person is a error of principle. Let's take it as salary paid to Mohan. This was one of the transactions that you have done in your journal chapter somewhere. Okay, salary paid to Mohan 10,000. What is the entry that I have to write? Salary account debit to cash account. Instead of writing it as salary account debit to cash, if I write it as Mohan account debit to cash, instead of treating it as debit all expenses, I treat it as debit the receiver. Wrong application of your debit and credit rules. So, correct entry is salaries to cash. Wrong entry is Mohan to cash. The rectifying entry will be salary to Mohan. Okay. So, expense paid debited to the personal account and income received is credited to personal account. Received commission from Rajesh. What is the entry? Received commission from Rajesh. What is the entry? Cash account debit to commission account. Instead of writing cash to commission, I wrote as cash account debit to Rajesh account. What is the entry? Rectifying entry. Rajesh account debit to commission account. Those that amounts to what we call this error of principle. Let's close it. Next one is personal expense of proprietor is treated as business expense. What is it? Personal expense of the proprietor is treated as business expense, or business expense is treated as proprietor's personal expenses. Simple. You made a mistake in drawings account. Proprietor purchased a car for his personal purpose from business proceeds. What is the entry that you have to write? Drawings account debit to cash or bank, from wherever this guy is taking the money. Instead of writing it as drawings account, you wrote it as car account. Is that a business asset? Okay. Personal income tax of the proprietor paid by the business. Personal income tax of the proprietor paid by the business. Drawings account debit to cash or something should be required. Instead of writing it as drawings, this guy wrote it as income tax account. Okay, so something like this. Okay, you will have endless thing, but the most commonly committed mistakes are these things. I hope I made it clear. Like, is this clear? So whenever you apply a wrong rule of your debit and credit of your personal, real and nominal, they will end up in calling them as error of principle. And what is one thing that you have to keep in mind is error of principles will never disagree your trial balance. Why? Because we are maintaining a perfect balance of debit and credit. Okay. Shall we get into the second one? Error of omission. What is error of omission? All of us are human beings. On top of it, we are Indians. You know, globally we have what do we call this? A renowned what do we call this thing is Indians are extremely what do we call this technical, but sometimes they get something called as forgetting. Okay, it's a global fact. Though Indians control Google, though Indians control Microsoft or anything like that, still we are Indians. We share a very unique DNA, which no other global country people will have. Okay, we'll be very sensible, 99.99%, but we'll do crack things of 0.01% something that spoils everything like whatever we have done on 99.99%. Okay, so welcome to India. So God has given us something called as a bliss, called as forgetting. Okay, in that we have what? Again, two classes. Which omission? Complete omission. So what is this complete omission and partial omissions? Complete omission is very good. Okay, and partial omission is awesomely good. So what is complete omission? Debit is there, credit is there. I will not write anything. If you're forgetting, forget it completely. Who is there at the door? Who? Oh. What is the next one? What is the next class? Partial omission. So what is partial omission? I will record whatever I feel like. I will not record whatever I don't feel like. Out of debit and credit, debit is recorded. I hate credit. Or sometimes I hate debit. I love credit. That's how it works. But ultimately, joke is complete omission. The uniqueness of complete omission is trial balance will tally perfectly. Okay. The charm of complete omissions are they'll make you feel like I'm Alexander. But the problem is partial omissions, immediately they will say that you are a useless fellow. Why? You wrote something wrong somewhere. You didn't maintain a balance between debit and credit. Okay, but that is a uniqueness. Now, here, what is the thing? Common again, this you know this already. I can write a journal entry, right? Can I write a journal entry in complete omission? Yes, because originally you never wrote journal entry. Now you will write the same journal entry as rectification entry. The entry which was supposed to be recorded as journal entry is the same entry that we will write it as rectification entry now. Now, the problem is there with the second one. Can I write a journal entry? Partial omission, again, it depends on the stage at which you have identified. Isn't it already? We have discussed this, right? So, it depends on the stage. Okay. If it is first stage, only one account is adjusted. If it is second stage, you will adjust it by writing a journal entry, but the journal entry will be routed through suspense account. You know that fact already, right? So it depends on the stage. Right. So this is your what we call as second stage. And obviously just by reading it, you will understand what is finding error of omissions is very easy. Tackling error of principles is very difficult because you need a very good understanding of rules and regulations here. Omission, the statement itself will tell you that there is an omission. Which omission you have to decide. Okay. Let's see commission. This is an interesting group. Now, what is the error of commission? So first one is lack of knowledge. Second one is lack of memory. Third one is, that's what we call these stages. In audit firms, they call it as lack of knowledge. Okay. Suddenly, other guy will ask, what happened? This guy committed a EOP. so that the client should not understand like what we are talking. EOP, oh my god, where did he commit that EOP? Client will be thinking like these guys are using some code language so that we should not understand. It's nothing but error of principles. Okay, and or else we'll use something like, this guy committed a EOO. Oh my god. Okay, the other guy will be like, his BP will be going up, like, these guys are talking about something. And the next one is, last one will come into picture when it is lack of patience, or this guy is too disturbed. And is she sleeping or trying to? The left column, are you sleeping? Don't sleep. All right. So what is this error of commission is? Okay, now let's understand this classes here. Okay, account will be there, side will be there, and amount will be there. Three things, and these headaches will start in your journal. You will have the headache in journal, and most of these error of commissions are committed not at journal, but at what are they called as posting time. Okay, that is, look at the mockery here. Account is correct. Okay, side is correct. Amount goes wrong. Account is perfect. Nothing is wrong with the account. Nothing is wrong with the side, but the amount goes wrong. And in this, we'll have two classes. Amount going wrong is either you must have written excess amount, or you must have written a shorter amount, which we call them as overcasting and undercasting. Other guy says that 1256. Okay, eco problem. 1256 sounds like 1562. And this guy will post it as 1562. Happens, right? Or these kind of errors usually they will happen whenever you are distracted. You are posting the thing. You wrote that in the account. To or by, everything went right. Suddenly some useless fellow sitting somewhere does not have any work. You will say WhatsApp. And once you hear the notification, nowadays the brains are saying that stop everything, whatever you are doing, first focus on what? The notifications. Okay. And after attending the notification, this guy will come and he'll be confused like which amount and where. He'll write something. So error of commission in that first class is account is correct, side is correct, but the amount goes wrong. And in that we have two classes. What are the two classes? Over or under. Okay. Now, if it is overcasted, you wrote excess amount. What is that you will do? Let's go with an example. I have to post a total on an account debit side to something I wrote. Instead of writing 2500, I wrote one extra there, 0. I made 2000, I wrote 2500 as 25,000. What is that we will do? Take that pen sort of thing, make sound and open it and hide that 0. No, problem is 25,000 cannot be made 2500 that easily. Why? After 25 you have put a comma. Manipulations could రావాలి. That's what you are supposed to find out tomorrow. Who is manipulating and who is playing. 2500, 2 comma 500 will be there. But 25 you'll write 25 and comma 3 zeros will be there. So don't use what we call as whitener. How do you do that? Simple. 2500 on the debit. How much excess did I write? 22,500. I'll write a amount of 22,500 on the credit side and again balance it. 25,000 debit side, 22,500 credit side minus by balance carried down 2,500, to balance brought down 2,000. Don't touch the error. Okay, never touch the error, because income tax department people, they have a version called as manipulation. They will say that you have manipulated your records if you apply whiteners and all that in your accounting books. Am I being clear? Okay, let's write both the versions here. So if it is overstated, you write the excess amount on the opposite side. Okay. Second combination is very simple. I wrote a shorter amount. Instead of writing 2500, I wrote as 2000. I will write another 500 there. It will become 2500. So overcasted adjustment has to be done on the opposite side. Undercasted adjustment should be done on the same side. Am I being clear with it? Let's understand the second class in this. Account is correct. Okay, what is correct? Account is correct. Amount is also correct, but the side went wrong. Sir, how is it possible? Anything is possible. As long as nothing is impossible in accounts as far as we are concerned. Right. So account is correct, amount is correct, but one small thing went wrong, sir. I wrote it on the wrong side. Wrong side in the sense debit side. Instead of writing it on the debit side, wrote it on the credit side. Then how do we adjust? Simple. Debit side, I'm supposed to write 2500. Instead of writing it on the debit side, I posted it on the credit side. Account is correct, amount is also correct, but the side went wrong. In this scenario, the impact will be double. Or if you are rectifying it, you have to write it on the opposite side. Opposite side means in the correct side, twice the amount. Right? See, simple. Debit side, I have to write it as 2500. By mistake, I wrote it on the credit side. I posted it on the credit side. What do I do? Debit side posted with 5000 so that the 2500 whatever is there on the credit side gets cancelled here, and I will get another 2500 original amount that has to be debited. Correct? Next, let's see the next combination. I love this combination actually. Okay, side is correct, amount is also correct, but I wrote that in the wrong account, sir. Instead of writing it in Sharma account, I wrote it in Verma account, or I posted it in Verma account. What do we do? Obviously, we'll write it on the opposite side in the wrong account and post it. Here we'll be writing an entry. Okay, this is one set of combinations. I hope you guys are okay with it, right? So what is the thing? Amount is wrong, or side is wrong, or account is wrong. In this we'll get hybrids also. Account is correct, side is wrong, amount is wrong. Anything is possible, isn't it? So this combinations, whatever these combinations are, these are called as error of commissions. That is, you have committed an error in your account or side or amount. Depending upon the error, we have to modify our rectification style. Okay, it's not because if you keep on writing, you will be getting multiple combinations there. Okay, one deadly combination will be there. Only for your understanding, nothing is right. First of all, account is wrong. Then useless fellow wrote it on the wrong side. Then useless fellow made one more blunder of writing the wrong amount. Okay, these things they'll give you headache by the time you adjust it. Okay, let's not go with this. Let's leave that combination. And hybrids will be there. Any two are wrong, one is correct. That is also possible. You will get another three combinations there. Right. So this is what the scheme of your rectification of errors is. Okay. So welcome to the club. Let's write this first. We want to write it, or shall we get into the problems directly? Write it. This is only the, what do we call this, a poster of the movie. The trailer and teasers will come when we start working on the problems there. Okay, only the beginning. The arrow marks, okay, don't try to take out a compass and fix a pencil to it and do that. Okay, do that in a rough. The last class, some guy was like, he was carrying a protractor. So for my own safety, I told you very clearly, well in advance, don't do that. Exactly, from MPC, after writing MSET, he came to CA Foundation. Or did you get the stages there? Two things. These two things are to be coordinated, and then you have to do the rectification exercise. Projector screen is moving, right? Is it moving? Right, so first one is over. Done. So this one is over. Shall we move on to the next one? Right? Anyone is still writing? Done. See this. First one is the most important one because you guys can handle second and third very easily. But first one is something that should be done very carefully. This is not an exhaustive list. These are most commonly committed error of principles. Okay? But depending upon the error, we may have to choose. Sometimes you will be in a confusion. Is it an error of principle or error of commission? Sometimes it will be a combination of two. The last two blocks, you're clear with this, right? Expense paid is debited to the personal account or income received is credited to the personal account. Personal expense of proprietor treated as business expense or business expense of proprietor is treated as personal expense. Done. Shall we see problem number one now? Theory part, whatever is there in the handout, you read that. Entire thing, whatever we have covered in these two tables, it's there in the text form. See problem number one there. People who are done with the tables, go and see problem number one. What is the page number? I think the page number will differ. My one is different, that one is. Well, done. Shall we see a problem now? Right. Let's go to problem number 1 there. Theory part, whatever is there, the same thing. We explained everything. It is given an elaborated theory. Read the theory part, you will get a better of clarity. But everything is compressed in what we call as the 2 tables. Now let's understand this problem first. Focus on this chapter. How would you rectify the following errors in the books of Rama and Co? So they are into a partnership business. The total to the purchase book has been undercasted by 100. What is the nature of error here? Error of commission. Account is correct, side is correct, everything went wrong. But what is this undercasting or overcasting errors are? These errors are committed on a calculator. Okay, simple. Undercasting and overcasting. What is casting is? In accounts, we call the addition and subtraction part as costing, or what do you call as casting it. So undercasting or overcasting is a mistake which is done on a calculator, right? So where is the mistake committed? Purchase book. Can I say that the client is following subsidiary book system and classified ledger system? Right. So 100 rupees is short in purchase account. What do you want me to do? Can we write an entry? Because of this, how many accounts will go wrong? One thing is confirmed, purchase account is wrong. Are you trying to say that if purchase book is totaled short, any of your supplier accounts is wrong? No, why? Supplier accounts postings will be done on the same day when you purchase goods from them. So the mistake, whatever we are looking at, is a one-sided error. And if you are looking at the nature, it is a error of commission, where you committed a mistake while calculating the amount in the purchase day. Right? Now, can I pass an entry now? Can I write a journal entry? No, only purchase account has to be adjusted. Okay. Which side will you write? Debit side. Why? Because undercasting, we have to add another 100. Overcasting, we will write on the opposite side. Right? So, next, let's go with the second one. The returns inward book has been undercasted by 50. Same story. Which account is wrong? Sales returns account or returns inward account, either ways. So sales returns account is undercasted. Sales returns account will show debit balance. There is a shortage in debit by 50. Again, I will debit that account with 50. Even this thing is a error of commission. Only one account went wrong. Okay. Next. A sum of 250 written off as depreciation on machinery has not been debited to depreciation account. How many accounts are found? First of all, what is the entry that you will write when you provide depreciation on machinery? Depreciation account debit to machinery account. Are you trying to say that depreciation account is wrong or machinery account is wrong or both accounts are wrong? Only depreciation account is wrong. They are saying that a sum of 250 written off as depreciation on machinery. From where will you remove or where will you take from this depreciation is from the asset account. So machinery account is perfect. Which account went wrong? Only depreciation account. What is the nature of error here? Error of omission. You forgot to write that or you forgot to post that in your depreciation account. Am I being correct? Right. Can I write an entry? If you write an entry now, depreciation account will get corrected, machinery account will go wrong. And to rectify that, if you write an entry, machinery account will go correct, depreciation account will go wrong. Chain reaction, right? So only one account has to be adjusted, that is your depreciation account has to be adjusted. Next, a payment of 75 for salaries to Mohan has been posted twice to salaries account. error of commission, error of commission. What class? What did you do? What is the mistake that is committed? You paid only 75 once, but you wrote the same 75 two times in salaries account. So what is that you have to do now? What is the name of that opposite side is? Credit side. I will write 175 rupees there, not 175, only 75. Automatically it will cancel the extra 75 on the debit side. Balance left out will be the original 70. Done. Next. The total of bills receivable book 1500 has been posted to the credit of bills receivable account. Error of principal. Error of commission. Right. What is the class? Account is correct. Amount is correct. The side went wrong. Why? Bills receivable book should be posted on the debit of bills receivable because it is an asset. Instead of writing it on the debit side, this guy posted it on the credit side. Now, when account is correct, amount is correct, and the side goes wrong, what is that we have discussed this now? Amount will be double. That is, we have to use a double amount to rectify. So, where will you write this double amount? Debit side, if I write 3000, it will cancel 1500 wrong side amount that is there on the wrong side, credit side, and 1500 will be there on the debit side. Done. Next. An amount of 151 for a credit sale to Hari, although correctly entered in sales book, has been posted as 115. Which account is wrong? Error of commission. Okay. Account is correct, side is correct, amount is wrong. What is the account? Hari account, sales account. Which account is wrong? Hari account is wrong or sales account is wrong? Right. That is the reason why we have done what we called as a beautiful chapter called as subsidiary books. This Rama and Co, they are using which method of accounting, bookkeeping there? Subsidiary books and classified ledger system. When I sell goods on credit to Hari on a given day, first I will write that in my sales day book. From there, I will do the posting only in Hari account, not in sales account. So the question of going wrong in sales account does not arise. The error has occurred in Hari account only. I'll reiterate that. They have done that at the beginning of this week, right? So it's a long time. In subsidiary book system, if you remember, I told you there is a difference between posting procedure that is followed from journal to ledger and subsidiary books to classified ledger system. If this guy is maintaining subsidiary books, as he said, if he is selling it to Hari, first he will update that in sales day book. Date, Hari, amount of 151, right? What is the correct amount? Is it 151 or 115 is correct? He wrote 151 in sales day book. After completing the work in sales day book, immediately he will open trade receivable ledger. In that, he will post it in Hari account if it is already there. If it is not there, he will open Hari account. And in Hari account, on the debit side, two sales, 115. That's what this guy wrote, which was supposed to be recorded as two sales, 151. So under posted or over posted? Under posted by 36 rupees. Now again I will write it in Hari account on the debit side, 36 rupees. Okay. అర్థమైంది అన్న ఎందుకు సబ్సిడరీ బుక్స్ చేయించాను? సబ్సిడరీ బుక్స్ చేస్తేనే రెక్టిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎర్రర్స్ అనేది క్లారిటీ వచ్చేది. అర్థమైందా? ఇక్కడ డైలమా ఫస్ట్ టైం చదివినప్పుడు సేల్స్ రాంగా, హరి అకౌంట్ రాంగా, లేదా రెండు రాంగా? Clear? Shall we see the last one? Right. Discount allowed to Satish 25 has not been entered in the discount column of the cash book. The amount has been posted correctly to credit of personal. So where is the mistake committed? Which account is wrong? Which account went wrong? Satish account is correct. Good, because they told us very clearly that what is the transaction here? Some cash is received. Obviously, you will enter this in a cash book with the discount column. So you must have written, like, let's go with an example. Satish has to pay you an amount of 250. You offered him a discount of, so how much is received in cash? 225. So where do we enter this first is in cash book on the receipt side to Satish, discount column 25, cash column 225. Did you write it correctly in cash book? Yes. You wrote it in cash column as 225, but you never wrote this 25 in the discount allowed column. So if you are not written that in your discount allowed column in cash book on the receipt side, obviously only one account will go wrong is your discount allowed account, to which we will transfer the sundry balances, writing it as two sundries as per cash book. In that, this 25 is missed out. Why? Because while totaling it, you never wrote 25 there, and obviously that 25 is not included in that total transfer to discount allowed account. So which account should be adjusted? Only discount allowed account should be adjusted, because cash is perfect, because it is in book, and Satish account is correct because they are very clearly telling you that nothing is wrong with Satish account. So which account? Only discount allowed account should be adjusted. On the debit, 25 rupees will come. Now, what is the nature of error? Error of omission. You forgot to write that 25 in the discount allowed column of cash book. Is this clear? Right, let's prepare the solution. Right, so what is the standard solution that is given for this problems is write a sentence there, which is waste of time. Let's go with my style of writing, where it will be less efforts and more comfort, and your presentation also looks better. Right, so keep the heading. I hope you guys are maintaining an index. I've asked you guys to maintain index for the books. Right, so rectification of errors, this is your problem number 1. And what did you notice? All of them are one-sided errors. We don't have any two-sided errors in this particular problem, right? What is the first error that is committed? Purchase daybook has been undercasted. Let's write the statement there. What is the amount? But 100, right? 100, yeah. So which account will you adjust? Obviously, we'll adjust purchase account. So in purchase account, I will write it as So instead of writing a statement or sentences and all that, what is that we are showing is in which account, on which side, and what I will. Done. First one's rectification is over. And what is that we are writing? To undercasting and purchase daybook on. We'll write the date on which this particular amount was not included in the total there. Okay. So what is the next account that has to be adjusted? So which side? Sales returns. Debit side, we'll write the same story again. To value is at 50. First one is over, right? So what is the third one? I think you forgot to, I forgot, right? Depreciation, right? What is the amount? Depreciation account on the debit side. What is the statement? Two. What is the statement? What is the error there? Error of omission. We forgot to write that in depreciation account. Two. Omission of posting on the date there. Value of 250. This approach will save a lot of time for you. Best thing, right? We are showing very clearly which side of account, where is that we are writing, and what is the statement that we are writing. Let's see the fourth one. What is the fourth one there? Statement number 4. Payment of salary to Mohan posted twice in salaries account. Oh, okay. So tell me, where will you write it in this account? We'll write that in salaries account on the credit side. Right. So what is that you will write? By, what is it done? What is the mistake? Actually, how much did you pay? Sorry. Next one is commission. You wrote twice. See, you paid 75 rupees salary only once, but you wrote it 2 times in salary account. What is that we are doing is, in order to cancel the one of the 75, we are writing 75 here, right? So, what is the statement that you will write? Posting twice on the debit side on the date. So we are writing how much there? 75 rupees. Salary account has been adjusted. Next, fourth is over. Third is over. Right. Fourth is also over. Good. Let's see fifth one. What is fifth one? Statement for the fifth one. Bills receivable total. Achha, you wrote on the wrong side. Account is correct. Amount is correct, but the side went wrong. Write the double amount. So in bills receivable account, on which side will you do the posting? Debit side, because that is the correct side. And what is that we are writing? 2. Posting on the credit side on. Yep. So how much amount are we writing? 3,000. Why? Because you wrote the amount on the credit side. In order to cancel that 1,500, we are writing 3,000. So next, sixth one. What is error number 6 there? Read that. Okay. Right. See this. Credit sales to Hari. Is it 36 rupees? No? It's 36, right? 151 minus 115, 36 rupees difference. Now, where do we write it? Which account are we rectifying it? Hari account. Obviously, Hari account, being a customer's account, will be having a debit balance. So, debit, credit. Hari account, we'll write on the debit side as 2. 2. What is that you have done? Did you write it on the wrong side? Error of commission. Account is correct, side is correct, but the amount you have posted wrong. That is short. So, under posting of amount as on, and what is it? 36 rupees. Done. Let's see the next one. 7. One more or 2 more? Last one. What is the last one? Discount allowed to Satish. It is not recorded in cash book. That's why we don't have it in discount allowed account, but it is properly recorded in Satish account. Correct. So simple. Discount allowed, not recorded in cash book. So because of this, we know that discount allowed account will be affected because of this. So we have to adjust this in discount allowed account. Okay. So on the debit, what is that we are writing? To omission of recording in cash book as on the date. You have to be very clear on which date this particular receipt was received and when did you forgot to post it in your, record it in your cash book. Done. Now this is your problem number 1 where all of them are one-sided errors. We don't have any two-sided errors. Which one is easy? Writing English sentence is easy or showing it in the very account and writing it on the side? We are explaining everything. Which account, which side, what we will. Okay, right. A lot of time is there. Let's see problem number 2. All of you are okay with it? So what is that you have to identify? First and foremost thing is what is the nature of error, and in that which class is it, one-sided or two-sided and all, right? See that problem number 2. We'll only discuss problem number 2. We'll complete that later. The following errors were found in the books of Ram Prasad and Sons. Give the necessary entries to correct them. 500 paid for furniture purchase has been charged to ordinary purchases. What is the nature of error? Error of principle. That is, capital expenditure is treated as revenue expenditure. What is that you have purchased is furniture. Instead of writing it as furniture, this guy wrote it as purchases. Next, what is the entry that you are suggesting? Can we write an entry? Yes, two accounts are wrong. Furniture is not affected. Unnecessarily we wrote that in purchases. What is the entry? Furniture account debit to purchases account. Next, repairs made were debited to building account for 50. 50 rupees లో ఏమొస్తుందో నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు కానీ. What is the nature of error? Error of principle. Why? Revenue expense is wrongly treated as capital expenditure. Correct? So what is the entry? Repairs account debit to building account, or to be specific, repairs to building account debit to building account. I don't know, understand what repair he did with 50 rupees. Okay, maybe he must have purchased some nails and switches. Each switch will cost more than 300 chains. Yeah, switch will not. The second hand. Third one, what is it? An amount of 100 withdrawn by the proprietor for his personal use has been debited to trade expenses account. Error of, that is, personal expense of the proprietor is treated as business expense. What is the entry? Drawings account debit to trade expenses account. Done. Next, 100 paid for rent debited to landlord account. Error of principle again. It's the expense paid is not debited to expense account, but it's debited to the personal account. What is the entry? Rent account debit to landlord account. They didn't give us name, or else we would have written the name, right? Next, salary 125 paid to clerk due to him has been debited to his personal account. Error of principle again. Okay. What is the correct account? Is salary account, but you wrote it as clerk account. Now you will write it as salary account debit to clerk account. 100 received from Shaw and Co. has been wrongly entered from as Shaw and Co. Shaw and Shaw. Okay. H is correct. W is wrong. Correct. So W account debit to H account. That's better. Okay. Before lunch, this will be better. So, which Shaw is wrong? W Shaw is wrong. H Shaw is correct. Shaw and Shaw actually sound identical, right? So, what is the nature of error? Error of commission. You wrote that in the wrong party's account. Account is wrong. Okay, side is correct, amount is correct, but then the very account itself is wrong. So after all error of principles, one thing, right? 700 paid in cash for typewriter was charged to office expenses account. Error of principle. Typewriter purchased is a capital expenditure. Instead of writing it as typewriter account, you wrote it as office expenses account. Entry will be typewriter account debit to office expenses account. Very easy problem, right? So except for your sixth one, all of them are error of principles only. Except for sixth one, it is error of commission. Wrong per party account has been printed there. Okay. Right. Can you? I think you can write this, right? They completed. People who are having the మీదేమైంది they right 1-1 already. Right, we'll continue on Monday.